So today I'm gonna show you guys how we make sure that our chickens get a bath. Well, maybe not quite like this. So this is definitely a question I've asked myself when we first started owning chickens, is do you need to give chickens baths? And how would you even go about giving a chicken a bath? So some of you guys might have just seen the previous video where we combined our two flocks. We hatched out 10 chickens back at the end of March. We just combined them with our 14 chickens here in our egg-laying flock. So we are up to 24 chickens here. And you may have heard the rumor that chickens are kind of dirty. Well, I'm here to tell you that the rumor is true. Chickens are dirty. They like to poop almost anywhere they are. They don't care where they're at when they're pooping, especially at nighttime. So if you look wherever your chickens roost at night, there's gonna be a lot of poop in that area. So chickens require a lot of cleaning of their coop, and depending on the area that you have them in, luckily we have them in a very large free range area, so any of the poop that they do here just gets washed by the rain. So that's not something we have to worry about. But chicken poop and just chicken bedding can bring pests into their areas, which about 6 months ago for us was mites, where we had bad mites all over our coop. So we had to strip down the coop, take all the bedding out, spray it down, rub DE all in the corners around the roosting bars, and completely try to clean out the coop from mites to make sure that we got rid of them all. Well, if you can imagine, that means chickens will get these mites on their bodies. So yes, that means they're gonna need to get baths too. Chickens take baths a little differently than we do. If you could see in front of me right here, there's a hole right here and another one right here. And actually our chickens will dig these holes, and what they do is they'll go inside those holes and rub that dirt into their body, around their feathers, fluffing out and everything like that. And the dirt kind of acts as like an abrasive material to its body to help kind of scrape anything that's on its body. So if it had any bugs or any just kind of dirtiness to it, and that's how a chicken gets clean. So these are kind of like their bathtubs here, those two holes. And then here's their little like hut that they like to go to during the summertime for shade. And if I show you inside here, you can see they have about 3 or 4 more holes inside there, which they like to do because it also cools them down and cleans them at the same time. If you see these holes in your dirt that are in your chicken area, that's most likely the reason why they're there. And that's a good thing. You want your chickens to have a chance to clean themselves off. One way you can help encourage this is if you have the room to. As you can see, we have a kiddie pool here that already has some dirt inside it because we've used it in the past so that they can go down in there and scratch and then make this like one big chicken bath for them. And although it just has dirt, I'm gonna show you and explain a few other things that you can add to it to help aid for your chicken baths. So the first thing you wanna do when you're making your own chicken bath, like how we are with this kiddie pool, is you wanna figure out what the main sourcey thing you wanna do is. Some people like using like wood ash, some people just use dirt, and there's other things that you can choose from. We already have the dirt in here, so we're just gonna stick with dirt. So a good way to add more right now is just by digging some of these holes that they've already made a little bit deeper, throwing that excess dirt into this kiddie pool so that they have one big chicken bath, since we do have 24 chickens here, while aiding and making their other holes a little bit deeper and better. So yes, wood ash and dirt and things like that are gonna help clean your chickens. But if you want to aid in getting any kind of bugs or pests off them that might be stuck to them, then you're gonna wanna get yourself, which I'm not even gonna try to say this word. I've seen it and heard it a million times, but I don't feel like butchering it here. But if you look right here, this is DE. The E stands for earth. I can say that. And then all you're gonna wanna do is just sprinkle a little bit of this stuff in any of the chicken bath areas, whether they made the hole themselves or something that you're making for them. Throw a little bit down, because this stuff will dry out any kind of pest and insects and kill them off your chickens. So it'll make them feel better. For some people, DE is a controversial thing for chickens because it could be bad for their respiratory system, which is true. But as long as you're not throwing it in your coop and keeping your coop closed with no ventilation, then you should be okay. So any open air spots, like this is outside, this is all full with ventilation and air coming through, it's really not gonna be bad for your chicken's respiratory system. And it does aid in helping get those pests off, like I said. And that's an easy way to encourage your chickens to clean themselves and to make sure they get their version of what a bath is. which is kind of funny since they use dirt to clean themselves, which sounds dirty, but it makes them clean. So those spots actually that I was just dealing with probably aren't even the main spots that they like to dust bathe. The number one spot that they dust bathe is underneath this chicken coop here. I believe since it's such dry ground down there because the rain can never get to it, that soil is just so soft and they can easily break it down and just rub into it and cool it down because it's always shaded. So it's their cooling spot, their dust bathing spot. It's definitely been a lifesaver for the chickens during the summertime. We haven't collected eggs in about 3 days, so hopefully it's not looking too bad in here. Hi, chicken. Well, not too bad, but there's a chicken lane, so we should give that chicken a little bit of privacy. I do want to check inside the coop for any extra eggs because they do happen every once in a while make a nest in here. Oh man. It looks like whoever lays green eggs, they're laying them all here. I'm wondering that chicken that's sitting on the eggs in there, if she's broody or not, because she made a really weird growl sound. I'm not gonna get you. A growling hen sitting on eggs is a broody hen. So now that these chickens have some new spots to dust bathe and hopefully enjoy that, we have a problem and I think I have a solution for it. So all these chickens right here actually in front of me is the new flock that we just added. But they are not having a good time going to bed in the coop at night. The last 4 or 5 nights since they've been out here, they're choosing to roost on top of this compost bin here. And no matter how many times we take them off, put them in there, every single night, take them off, put them in there, we're tired of doing that. We don't want to come out here at 9:30 at night every single night and repeat that process. They're used to being over here on this side of our chicken run, so they just kind of claimed it as theirs. So we need to make sure that we can get it out of there. So there's 2 things that we can do. We can either take the compost bin and remove it out of our chicken run, which we don't want to do, plus that's a lot of work to move it, scoop all that compost. We're not going to do that. Or we can do a fencing and make sure we block off the compost bin from the chicken run here for about a week. See if that will help them go into the coop at night instead of always roosting up here. I'm gonna lift up some of this fencing here and start bringing it over so that that compost bin won't be in the chicken run here for about a week. You can see I have fencing all blocking this compost bin, and we'll have to see if this stops them from getting to the compost bin, because I really don't want to come get them later. One thing that I did forget to mention about our dust bathing station that they have inside there is not only is it going to help keep them clean and keep them free of bugs, cool them down during the summer, it's also going to help cure your chicken boredom. And chicken boredom is a big reason of why chickens might want to fight or peck at each other. So giving them those spots to lay in, scratch around in, dig in, will help give your chickens something to do. And I'm telling you, chickens, once you have them, if you don't have them already, they love scratching and digging around. All right, I'm outside right now. All the adult chickens are now in bed. So it's time to see how this is gonna work out for the little chickens. So as of now, it doesn't look like they're in bed, but there is a chance they go to bed inside the coop. So crossing my fingers, let's see what happens. All right, well, I had to help them out a little bit, but they are all inside the coop. That is an automatic door, but I want to make sure it's closed so they don't come out. We're gonna go see some fireworks tonight, and I don't want any chickens escaping without me knowing right now. So I am gonna do a final count and make sure that the 10 new ones are in there real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we did it. So all of them are in there. What I meant by help is that I sprayed the hose where they were gonna stand, because they were gonna stand by that compost again. But I wanted to make sure they had the habit of going towards the coop. So if I need to come do that for a few nights just for them to get into that habit, then so be it. But they're in there. Everything's all done today. Hope you guys have a great day and a better tomorrow, and we'll see you in the next one.